everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and today I'm out in my garden, and it is very early. And the first thing I decided to do this morning was to go ahead and let my chicks out. And I wish I had waited because one got outside of the chicken run, and it took like 30 minutes for me to get the chicken back inside. And the sun is beginning to come up now. But what I'm going to do today out in the garden is I'm going to go ahead and dig my potatoes that I planted. I think it was December or January. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dig those today. And I'm going to also dig the garlic that I planted, because both of them are beginning to die back. And so you don't want to leave them in the ground too long after they die back. And I'm going to show you what the potatoes and the garlic are looking like. This is what the potatoes are looking like. And I think that they've done everything that they're going to do. These potatoes struggled because of the frost that we had in December. And the garlic did also. But some of this is elephant garlic, and some of it is the regular soft neck garlic. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to pulling it. And I may leave a few of the garlic in the bed just to help control pests in this bed. But what I want to do really is to go ahead and get this bed clean so I can go ahead and plant something else and also get my harvest. So let's get started, guys. Okay, I got my little wagon here, a cart, and I bought a shovel and a rake. And I think I'm going to need one of these 5-gallon buckets to go ahead and put my plants in when I pull them, so I won't have to move them around again. I don't want to trip over anything while I'm out here. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling my plants up. Now I can see we're going to start to have them look like some new potatoes. So they are still growing, but I just feel like the plant is just about gone, and to just leave it in the bed knowing that they're not going to do very much, you know, it's kind of like a waste of space to me. So especially knowing how long they've been in this bed. Wait a minute, I think I lost one. It's so tiny. But I use those new potatoes also, because those new potatoes, you don't even have to do anything to, especially if you just go ahead and take them out now. You can go ahead and just wash them and roast them. That was a lot of soil. I need my soil off. That's mostly what I'm getting right now are the new potatoes. Go ahead and pull some weeds while I'm at it, because they're gonna have to go also. Maybe I should have got another kind of container, because a lot of these new potatoes are falling right through my wagon. And I can use these as the new potatoes. Some of them are so small. I'm gonna get my shovel and I'm gonna dig a little deeper. And when you're digging your potatoes, guys, you wanna be careful that you don't dig into the potato. Yeah, these are small, guys. I'm gonna get me another bucket so that I can have something that they will not be falling through. Because believe me, all of these potatoes will be eaten. Whether they be small or large. We have to pour these on the ground. Where we were working yesterday and we were putting our zip ties that were messed up. We put them in there so that the chickens would not get a hold of it. Because when you're working around where your chickens are going to be, you don't want to leave anything laying around that the chickens can, they'll think that that's a worm and they'll try and eat it and it could harm them. So you want to be cautious when you're working around your chicks and not leave anything around that they can get hold to, like pick up any screws or anything like that they'll try to eat. Okay, so okay, that was a nice size one. I want to just dig in here with my hands. I don't see a lot of ants so far, so I'm going to try and dig in here. Okay, there's a nice little bundle. And this is one that was, bring it closer to show you all. It got a little green spot on the end of it. It's not much, but you have to be cautious of those ones that the sunlight gets to them and causes them to be green, and it creates a chemical in them that will give you a tummy ache if you eat it. So I'm gonna cut that part off right there and then put the rest of it in the oven and roast it with some onions and garlic. Look, y'all, this one's big. All of them can't be like this, y'all, but it's nice to get some big ones. Main thing is, though, is being thankful for whatever you get out of your in your harvest. Be thankful. That's what I just want to be thankful. That's already about the size of the bags. What a 5-pound bag, or think about a 5-pound bag of potatoes. So that's good. Main thing is you want to get in here and get them good. You don't want to leave any of your harvest. But I always do. I always leave harvest because I've got some 5-gallon buckets now that I have planted other things in, and they have potatoes growing in them. So that means that I left some of the potatoes from the last season. I did not get them all, and they're growing back. But I'm still harvesting them, so it's not like it went to waste. And they did not rot, so that's a good thing. They did not rot in the bucket. They have reseeded themselves, and I'm still getting harvest. And I probably could have left these a little longer, but I decided that I wanted to just err on the side of caution instead of just leaving them and allowing them to rot in the ground. Especially since it has been dry for a few days. You want to go ahead and you want to dig your potatoes when it's dry. And if it's not dry, when you decide that you're going to dig them, just stop watering them for a few days. So that's what I did. I stopped watering them. I don't want to dig, but it seems like a lot of the big ones are deep. And like I said, when you dig in there with your shovel or with your fork, because I have a fork that I might go get my fork, and maybe I can use the fork to go underneath the soil better. I'm sure I can go underneath the soil better than I can with this shovel, because with this shovel I'm afraid that I may end up breaking or digging into cutting my potatoes in half. I'm not ready to cut them up yet. I want to wait till I get them cured. And you want to cure your potatoes, you want to let them sit out where they can dry out for a while. Unless you don't have any potatoes and you're ready to start eating them, you can immediately start eating them. But that's if you want to store them. So it depends also on how many you end up getting. If you end up getting a lot of potatoes where you're going to need to store, and we all like to be able to store some potatoes. But if you don't have a big enough harvest to worry about storing, then just take them in the kitchen and start cooking them. But if you want to store them for a long period of time, and potatoes will store for a long time if you cure them properly. I think I'm getting over to my garlic side now. So what I'm gonna do is start moving the soil like this so that I can see what I got over here. And then I move the soil back. I think this is one of my seed potatoes. And there's some good soil in here, and it's gonna be ready to plant something else. And I bet no one can guess what I'm gonna plant in this bed. I'll give you a hint. It's what it said that you should not plant after you get your harvest. But y'all, I just got to go with the flow. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what I'm gonna plant in this bed. I'm planting more potatoes in this bed. And it's because I got a lot of seed potatoes. So these potatoes were ready to come out after I had lots of seed potatoes. So seed potatoes going back in, because they say, well, don't plant the same crop. And it's because of the pest. But to be honest, I don't see a lot of pests in here, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna plant some more potatoes in this bed. And be ready to get us another potato harvest. Maybe by the time that we're about to be finished eating these, you can be getting us another harvest. I'm looking at this garlic and trying to decide if it's gonna be ready. I think for the most part, some of it is ready. So what I'll do is probably just pull the ones that are ready and leave the others. There was a garlic that got caught up. It's very tiny. It's probably one that I recently planted because I was trying to add garlic to this bed, because this bed had been damaged during the frost. And so I was trying to plant more garlic just to try and make up for what I lost. But That's a clove of garlic. It's small, but it'll be delicious. And sometimes I believe some of these small ones like this, if they are automatically gonna get lost in the bed. So during time, you know, over time, I think that they kind of start to trying to reproduce. They may not produce many potatoes, but they are able to produce plants, shoots that come up out of the garden or out of your 5-gallon bucket, whatever you have them planted in. Go ahead and pull this plant. And this side has the red potatoes. I mixed the potatoes in this bed, so that's fine. Go ahead and get them too. That has covered up my bucket. All right, it's time to move some soil now so we can see if we got any more red potatoes under here, because I know there should be more than what I've gotten in this bucket so far. And I said I was going to get the fork, and I never did. But I will. And most of this soil came from my compost pile. And it did really good. As far as not growing, having a lot of weed seeds in it. The weeds that I'm pulling mostly are coming from underneath this plastic. So where I put the soil on the top of the plastic, there really wasn't a lot of weeds. There are a few, but not a lot. So the weeds got to come out too before I can replant this bed. So I'll go ahead and just pull them also. Okay, so now I think that we're getting to where everything that's left is underneath the bottom, and it's going to take me to use my my fork. But what I'm seeing so far is that it don't seem like I have a lot of the red potatoes. That's a seed there, seed potato right there. So got a lot of little tiny ones. I try to remove as many as I can, but it's not gonna matter so much because, as I said, I'm going to replant this bed with potatoes. Just because, as I said, the timing is right. For all those seed potatoes that I have, I could put them in a tote, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this bed since this bed is available. And almost ready. So I'm gonna go and get the fork. Okay, I'm back with my fork. So I'm gonna see if there are any more potatoes underneath the soil. Yay. Oh, I don't have my camera. Right, hold on. Okay, when I forked this area, ended up with some more reds. Not real big, but nice. Some of them. Garlic. Small, but edible. Well, I almost forked that one, but I didn't. Another garlic. I'm not planting them back when I pull them up, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and take them inside. Ants were on that one. The deeper that I have dug down, now I've ran up on some ants. I'm gonna throw it on the ground and let them get off of it. I'm loving the way this soil looks. And you all don't be discouraged by the amount of work that you have to do to get your potatoes, because this is what it's going to take in order for us to have our own food. This may not look like a whole bunch, but these are potatoes that I do not have to go to the store to get. We can have mashed potatoes, we can have roasted potatoes, we could even cut them up and make some fries, the larger ones. Peel that and dice it up and make fries. Or some of the, some that are bigger than that, make some fries. Those are meals that you do not have to go to the store to get, because I've been noticing that some of those potatoes, for like a 5-pound bag, $7.99. $7.99, that's almost $10. To me, that's a lot. For potatoes that I can just take some seed potatoes and plant and get some. If I have to, like I say, replant in this bed to try and get me another harvest, which I can get another harvest before frost. Once you see those potatoes sprouting, getting those chits on them, and I'm sure everyone who's had potatoes and didn't use them, or sometimes if you use them, because potatoes sometimes come out of the store beginning to chit. And that's just when you see those little eyes coming on them. That's what we call them, eyes. When you start seeing those little eyes on, those are called chits. And you can plant those potatoes. I'm still trying to decide what to do about this garlic, because I'm seeing some that has the brown on the leaves, the bottom leaves are getting brown. I'm just gonna pull one that I see that this is an elephant garlic here. And these elephant garlic, if you leave these on here, leave these in the ground, these will produce more garlic. So I don't have a problem. I like garlic in my beds. So I'll just pull these off. And I don't care about it being here. I'll pull them off and let them form in my bed. And there I've got, this is a big head of elephant garlic. It's garlic, but it has more milder of a taste than your regular garlic. That works well for the people who don't really like the strong taste of garlic. I love the strong taste of garlic. So I know I'm jumping around. I'm digging potatoes. Now I'm pulling garlic, but those bottom leaves are brown or dying back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull this garlic. Also, I'm gonna clean this bed up. And we're gonna have potatoes and garlic. And I'm happy about it. I'm just gonna put those other ones back into the bed so they can continue to make garlic. I will be always happy to come into the garden and see garlic growing, always. So I'm not going to just stop on my potatoes. I'm going to get back to them. But I got excited about these garlic plants, getting them out. This is the first time that I've ever planted the elephant garlic. Wow, this one is, I thought it must have been huge, but it seems like it's about the same size as the other one. And those are some nice heads of garlic, and I am going to enjoy them. Although I done some kind of way got a rock in my shoe, but I am going to have to get it out. But I want to dig underneath these potatoes some more. So let's dig underneath the potatoes some more and see if we can get any more potatoes before we call it a day for digging potatoes. Because I have decided that I am going to go ahead and get the garlic. I'm still looking at it, but I think for the most part, garlic needs to come on out the bed. It's done what it's going to do. I'm going to be satisfied. I still got garlic planted in other areas of the garden. Most of it is for the pest control, but that's what it's planted to do. But I am going to eat it. Whatever size it grows to, when it is done controlling the pests, I'm going to harvest it and eat it. I don't really think I dug really good in the center, but I'm touching the bottom of it, so as long as I touch the bottom, okay, let's try the other side. Okay, I think I've got the potatoes. Kind of level my soil back off. Okay, so this is our potato harvest from this bed. And now let's go ahead and pull the rest of these garlic cloves. Uh-oh, I got some that I broke off. I don't want to do that. I have to dig them up because I need to get them all out of the soil. Wow. Whew. And I don't think none of this is going to have to be really cured because, I don't know, I look at this, I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna go ahead. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in the greenhouse on a table and just let it sit there, and then I'll use it as I need it. That's what I'll do. Instead of trying to actually worrying about a long time storage with any of it, I'll just use it as I need it. So we got a lot of the little small garlic cloves here, and these are obviously some that I just recently planted into this bed, so they didn't have time to do very much. They are garlic nonetheless. Oh my, I broke a big one. I gotta go down in here and get it. Guess I'll use the fork because it's not coming up like that. I think that stuff like garlic, onions, and potatoes are fun to grow. So those are some of the crops that I think that I will always, well, I know as long as I'll be gardening, I will always grow those crops because to me they're fun to grow. They're exciting to grow. They're rewarding to grow. And if you don't always get the harvest that you want, try again. Try again. That's what I'm going to be doing. Continuing to try and learn things that I could do to improve my crop, since I do enjoy each of them. I enjoy potatoes. I had potatoes for supper last night with onions. Just put them, slice them, dice them up. Not dice, but slice them in kind of like steak potato style. Put them on a baking tray with some onions, a little olive oil, some onion powder and garlic powder. Did not add any salt, because I had been eating some processed food that my granddaughter had bought me over the weekend. It was good, but it was processed stuff like ranch dressing, which was some vegan ranch, vegan cheeses, because she stops at her favorite store, Trader Joe's, and she picks up all this vegan stuff for me. But a lot of that stuff is loaded with salt, loaded with sodium. And so I had been feeling the effects of it. She also had bought me some vegan cookies that were delicious, but and the ingredients weren't that bad, but still, it's stuff that I don't eat all the time. And when I eat it, I can tell the difference. So y'all notice that when you're eating certain things that they don't make you feel your best. I can't say completely stop, because I can't completely stop. When she brings them down here, I'll get excited and I'll eat it. But we have to be mindful about what we put in our body. Although a lot of this stuff were natural ingredients, sugar is a natural ingredient. So you don't want to indulge in a lot of the things, even if they're natural, that you know does not agree with you. And sugar and salt does not agree with me. And yeah, they say have it in moderation. I don't even care for it in moderation. And oil is also an enemy of a lot of us, to a lot of us. So if you notice that there is a difference in your body once you have something that has oil, especially if you have something that has been fried, then be mindful of that and cut back. If you can, completely quit. I have already cut back, so now I'm working on that, completely quitting fried food. And I tell the kids, I said, y'all gonna have to stop asking for fried foods, because when y'all have fried foods, then I want fried food. And they just looked at me like, you're gonna have to work on that. Because my son said, well, it just don't taste as good if it's baked. So I can't try to deprive them of some of the things that they like, although I make them mindful of the fact that it is not good for you. So I'm going to teach them. Now, if they had never tasted fried, probably would not be a problem. But once a person has tried something and they like it, then it's going to be a process to wean them off of. So that's what we're working on. At least I'm working on it, to get them to know that these things are not as good for you as we the others as baked, raw, air fried with no oil. And then, you know, I can air fry it and with no oil and be somewhat satisfied, but it's still like in the back of your mind, you know, that it would taste better if you had fried it. Take some oil in a skillet. But those are some things that we have to be mindful of and to protect ourselves and to keep ourselves as healthy as we can be. And so that's my next step, is to try and remove the oil from my diet. Because I do like my olive oil. So if you all have tried some oils that you all know are so much more healthy, that you have found that it did not make you feel bad, did not make you feel sluggish or anything like that, put it down in the comments. Because someone mentioned to me yesterday, a friend of mine mentioned to me, which oil was it? I forgot which oil it was now. I know there are a lot of oils out there. But she mentioned an oil that was that she was trying that was more healthy. So I'm just gonna have to look into it. I'll call her and ask her again, what was the name of the oil that she told me about. But I like olive oil. I like coconut oil. Found two more. Okay, guys, so I appreciate you all hanging out with me today while I cleaned up my bed, while I harvested my potatoes and my garlic. So I am going to show you all the harvest that we have. Some of the soil put back in there. I got one potato over here on the ground that I got some of my garlic in my pile here. It's tiny, but I'm taking it. Let's see if I can move these weeds. Y'all still got the rock in my shoe. I was gonna stop and try and get it, but I was like, okay, that's taking up time. So I'll show you all my potatoes and my garlic harvest. Oh no, I thought I was knocking it over. I guess y'all used to hear me holler, oh no. The other day I was doing a video and I said, oh no, because I knocked over I potted the plants and I knocked them over. I had to stop and laugh. My son be thinking I should put those bloopers in there. I was like, no. And I also, the other day, I had got mad when I was doing the drip irrigation, and I was so frustrated with it because I couldn't get the hose, the poly hose, the poly tubing into that female adapter, and I worked with it for about 10 minutes, and he came up and he helped me to realize what the name of a part was when I was talking. And he said, before then, he said, are you recording? And I said, no. And he looked at the camera and he said, yes, you are. And I said, ah! It was so funny. because I had just got so frustrated. I had turned the camera off so that I could try and get it on, and without all the frustration. But guys, I want to show you all the harvest that we got today. So these are our potatoes. We got some white potatoes and some red potatoes. And I'll pick the garlic up. And this is our garlic harvest. So I am very excited and happy about this harvest today. I'm very thankful. And I'm also thankful for each of you that you hung out with me today. So I bought all my garlic and my potatoes into the greenhouse and laid them on a table in here. And this is where they'll be curing and storing until I'm ready to use them. So I thank you all for hanging out with me today while I harvested my potatoes and my garlic and got my bed cleaned out. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.